everybody. Welcome to the 2023 Field Days Innovation Awards. How about a round of applause for all of our innovators? That's the kind of applause I expect after 2 very long days at the Field Days. Hey, look, there are free beverages and canapes. How about a round of applause for the innovators? That's more like it. Hey, here's the good news. It's pretty close down the back physically. There's a lot of space up the front. If you want to move forward, you are more than welcome to come forward. There's a little bit of room here. Who's going to take that opportunity? No, thanks. Shut up, Mike. Anyone want to come forward? Because I know that it is, you know, particularly those of you who are very optimistic about your chances of winning a much shorter route to the stage. All right. Oh, there we go. Oh, look, are you coming forward? I appreciate you. What about a round of applause for those people? Oh, now they're going away. All right. Kia ora, everyone. Oh, hello. My job is to basically stand up here and not salivate on the winner's notes and the judges' comments while I watch delicious canapes walk past. For those of you who don't know me, kia ora, ko te radar, tōku ingoa. Welcome, as I said, to the 2023 Field Days Innovation Awards. For those of you who haven't been in this room before, many of you have, very quick housekeeping. Whare paku are located. You head out the door, you turn to your right, you continue heading in what is, I believe now, a northerly direction until you get to the toilets that are in the end of the exhibition room. The emergency exits are located at the rear of the building, and it says on the right-hand side. I think that's probably your right-hand side. Look, if there is some kind of I don't think this building is going to burn, but if there's like smoke or anything, that could happen. We'll head out the door and then we'll stand around the evacuation point, the corner of M Road and E Street. Look, if the building is on fire, it's very cold outside. So make sure that you are close enough to the fire that you don't get hypothermia, but not so close that you get horrendously scarred. And it's a no smoking zone in here. Really simple. If you want to smoke or vape, you head out the door, you go up the main hill to the main exit, gate 2, continue walking to Ngā Hinapuri. And when you are there with your smoke or your vape, just listen. On the cusp of the breeze, you'll hear the sound of our merriment and laughter. Reassess your lifestyle options and come back and join us in the room. All right, we're cracking on. What are we celebrating tonight? We're celebrating the Field Days Innovation Awards. They are the ultimate launch platform for primary innovation. They are globally renowned as an awards program. Many of you will know this. Thanks to Field Days and the amazing award sponsors, the total prize package of cash, services and products for the 2023 Innovation Awards is over 60,000 New Zealand dollars. Thank you. The Field Days Innovation Awards clearly represent the innovation life cycle in our 3 award categories. We have prototype, we have early stage, and we have growth at scale. Special recognition is also given to younger innovators as well, with an award for the Field Days Young Innovator of the Year, which this year is $2,000. They can put that away as a deposit on a small townhouse in Hinapuri. Sell it as a warm Airbnb for anyone who wants to pop there for some vaping. All right. This year, across all of our categories, we had 48 finalists. They were selected to showcase their innovation. 3 of those entries are in the running for the Young Innovator of the Year award. Now, for those of you who know data and maths, I think, does that mean that there is a 1 in 3 chance of those people winning $2,000? Is that what I'm reading? It is. Steve's nodding. So, all right. Can't wait to crush the dreams of 2 of those teams. They're brilliant. If you haven't seen them, they're very, very good. I'm loving what they're doing. So we have entries from a wide range of sectors within the food and fibre areas. We've got dairy, forestry, farm management, animal health and genetics, horticulture and viticulture, health and safety, water and waste management, environment, and much, much more. Tonight, here's what's going to happen. We're going to hear from a special guest speaker and we're going to present the 4 awards. There'll be time afterwards for networking. It's one of the most important things. It's this opportunity for people to network in the room this evening. There'll be time for discussions. There may even be a little bit of deal making going on. I know there are some deal makers in the room. He is a special guest speaker. He is not the special guest speaker, but I always enjoy hearing him. He is the CEO of the New Zealand National Field Day Society. Please welcome Peter Nation. Oh, hi, Peter. Where'd you get that suit from? Is it rented?
How's everyone feeling? Oh, you feel like I do. Hope I don't lose my place. I'm feeling a bit tired. Wow. So firstly, welcome to everybody here and our distinguished guests. There's a number in the room and there's some international guests with us as well. So welcome to you, both our friends here from Australia, but I did run in, oh there you are, from America. I didn't believe him to start with until his accent kicked in. Anyone else from overseas here? No? Yes? Welcome. This is always a great evening, so we're delighted to be able to stage it again, and $60,000 isn't an insignificant amount, and to actually rate $2,000 to a young person isn't an insignificant amount either, actually, even now. So welcome to everyone that's come, our judges and innovators, of course, and our sponsors. We couldn't do this without them, and they're no longer up there. They're actually over there behind Steve. So it's a great pleasure to bring you the 2023 Innovation Awards. So we've been at this little gig for 55 years. We started both field days 55 years ago in 1969 at the Te Rapa Racecourse, but we also started the Innovation Awards at that stage as well. And the forebears of the people that actually put this event together saw the need to give innovators the platform to put an idea forward and also test it to the end user, while also talking to potential manufacturers and the global market. So even back then we'd started that in a very small way and we've grown it to what it is today. And over those years we've seen really, really good ideas come forward and go into production. So as far as our records tell us, the first innovator that won an award in 1968-9 was Shoof. And look where they've ended up. Anyone know the story of that? So Jeff Laurent's wife wanted a couch. $3,000 it was, which was quite expensive. Jeff took $3,000 and entered in the Innovation Awards at Te Rapa. She didn't get the couch, but he won the award. So who made the most money? Great story. Ubco Bikes, 2015, started off as a prototype. That's ended up somewhere, hasn't it, in the world? And a whole lot of other world-class innovations in between and subsequently. So in the last 20 years, we've developed the awards and adjusted them to reflect the market because, as we know, the market keeps changing. And we now try and keep the awards on for 365 days a year, giving the entrants the opportunity to phase their entries in line with the development from, as T. Radar said, from prototype to early stage and then growth and scale. And of course, we haven't forgotten the youth innovators because they're so important and they come up with some very cool ideas as well, and their young minds think differently to old fellas like me, and they come up with stuff that I couldn't even think of. We've also seen this quite big shift in recent years, even in my time here, to more software-based innovations, some that are really starting to problem solve around things in the sustainability area, genetics, and of course a lot more what I'd call non-structural steel innovation. So we used to have a lot of stuff that was built with welders and stuff. Now we're starting to move into more sophisticated stuff, and that's required us to go out to the market and find new judges with real skills that can help us in that area. There's no doubt in our minds that innovation is one of the many levers that New Zealand can pull to increase wealth, opportunity and grow export income. And so for our size, as we know, we are really good at problem solving and providing solutions, particularly in the pastoral farming area, agri-science, and also solving some of the world's most difficult problems down in Aotearoa. We're good at this stuff. Tonight we celebrate another cohort of innovators, and I wish them well and thank them for putting their inventions forward. It's never easy to put yourself out there and be judged. And we're thrilled with the level of entries. Given that we only run this award 6 months ago, it shows you the sort of pipeline that's coming forward. This sort of stuff doesn't happen by accident. Steve Chappell's standing over here, our program director for this, along with what we call the Hub Empire he's building, and he's doing a great job. So thanks, Steve, for the work you've done in Innovation Awards, getting the judges organised, and reinforcing the value of this award with sponsors. We really appreciate it. So thanks everyone else for their efforts and support of this as well. Thanks for coming, and we look forward to the award winners and also our guest speaker tonight, which I'm sworn to secrecy. Enjoy the evening. Thanks very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Peter Nation. And welcome also to those people who are watching this on the live stream, many of them watching it on the live stream from their cars, a short distance up the road. All right, we welcome them as well. And, of course, all of our overseas guests. By overseas, we also include a big welcome to everybody from the South Island, technically overseas. All right, someone just applauded that. Too easy. All right. It's funny that Peter Nation, I almost said Sir Peter Nation, but I think I was just got a reverential view of you. But so it's funny that that Peter mentioned UBCO, because we've had some great speakers here over the past, and tonight is no different. Catherine Sanford built a career as a technology executive at global powerhouse Trimble over more than 20 years, living and working in New Zealand, in Europe and the United States. Since returning to New Zealand, she's primarily supported early-stage tech companies and founders as an angel investor, mentor, executive board advisor and director. And she's been involved with, obviously, award-winning UBCO in various capacities since 2016. Currently serves as the executive chair. It is with enormous pleasure that we welcome to the stage tonight the wonderful Catherine Sanford. We'll check the mic and then I'll disappear discreetly.
All right, we'll go with this one. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Taranaki, te maunga, ko Kapuni, te awa, no taronga aho. Ko Catherine Sanford, toko ingoa, no rira, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā, tātou katoa. Thanks for having me. I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight sharing the story of UBCO, and we're 10 years into this journey since our first, or since the idea was first born in a couple of inventors back in 2013. No journey's a straight line, and starting a company is certainly not a linear journey. When we look back at UBCO, even in hindsight, it's been a pretty squiggly line. It's about turning up every day, rolling up your sleeves and really getting into it. It's hands-on, it's demanding, and it's really front-facing. It's really, really different to the order and structures that we see in corporate, and certainly from my own experience working in a US-based corporate for more than 2 decades. This life in startup land is something pretty special and pretty unique. We have a history of innovation on 2 wheels in New Zealand, and I'm not sure if anyone in the room is aware, but UBCO connects to a really amazing story of that 2-wheel innovation. Farmer Johnny Callender, back in 1963, as a Taranaki farmer, invented the very first farm bike in the world. And then he was followed by Burt Munro, who set land speed records, and his story is quite well known, as is that of John Britton and the records set at Daytona and in the Isle of Man. And here we are with our inventors, Daryl and Anthony, pictured here in the innovation area of field days back in 2014. Originally designed as a farm bike, Daryl Neal and Anthony Clyde actually scribbled the sketch of the first 2x2, which really doesn't look any different than the one today, or not too much different anyway, on the back of an envelope in a restaurant in China. And they came back to New Zealand and put this thing together before entering it in the Field Days Innovation Awards. It was first launched then almost 10 years ago, and we're pretty proud of that history. Insight-led design is something that we pride ourselves on at UBCO. And the really great thing about people who've grown up in farming designing products is that they really understand the customer because they really are the customer. UBCO was designed by Daryl and Anthony to be lightweight, to be durable, easily repairable, customisable for lots of different types of farm work. And they were also really conscious, even back then, of the impact that the product would have on the environment. They wanted it to be light on the planet and to be more accessible to many more riders. Up until just a handful of years ago, I'd never been on a motorcycle. I was absolutely terrified of being on motorised two wheels. But as a new rider, I have found this bike to be particularly easy to ride. And the conversations that I've been able to have with a number of women who are really, really frightened of this type of experience has opened up opportunities for lots of people to have mini adventures and to put this product to work in their own contexts every day. One of the things that we've learned, and I've certainly learned being involved in this business now for several years, is that doing hardware is really hard. And doing hardware from New Zealand and taking on the world is particularly hard. It's a continuous improvement game. And we've, with UBCO, gone from Generation 1 that we saw sort of in the year or two after our Field Days Innovation Prize win to now at Generation 5. And we're moving pretty quickly to Generation 6 of the product. There's been a huge number of improvements that have occurred over that time. We see plenty of companies getting bikes to version 1, to very first prototype, and to be really excited about what they might be able to achieve. But the real challenges come to get to the next version and the next version, and to meet the needs of your expanding customer base. The fact that UBCO has been able to develop a vehicle that is road registerable in almost every country of the world. We've gone through a sequence of product innovations to produce the various generations of the product and to improve performance over time is something that we're extremely proud of. But it takes time, it takes investment, and getting investment is pretty hard going, and it takes a lot of patience. So for those of you out there who are just beginning on your journey, it's a long and squiggly road, but stick with it because where you get to in the end is pretty special. We've gone from batch manufacturing to now continuous manufacturing. In the beginning, we were running very, very small batch productions. 50 bikes in the first one, 150 in the next one. We got up to 300 and we thought that was pretty great. But it's slow and it's expensive. And when you're creating demand in the marketplace, it's pretty hard to keep up with that when you've only got a certain number of vehicles to sell and you've got to sell them to be able to produce the next lot. If your focus is scale, which ours always has been, and we've always had aspirations to be a massive, massive global company, then you need to get to continuous manufacturing, and that in itself is a journey. We started off with bicycle components. We've had to switch out the entire supply chain to provide us with parts and components that are suitable for a motor vehicle, and that in itself has been quite a journey. We've really built supply chain again from scratch. But the power of partnership has proven for us to be extremely powerful. And for those of you out there in the room who are, again, just beginning your journey, the importance of networking, making connections, looking after those connections is critically important. You just never know who might show up and be able to give you a lead into something pretty special. And that's what happened with us in our now relationship with significant investor and our supply chain and manufacturing partner, TPK. They're a Taiwanese-based manufacturing powerhouse supplying some of the largest companies in the world, think Apple and others. They're multi-billion dollars in revenue and they have about 15,000 employees. And they work with us, a little wee tiny Mount Maunganui-based company, where they believe in what we're dreaming of doing, and they're there beside us. So they've not only invested, but they're committed to manufacturing to the highest level of quality and delivering what we need to the market. We've had venture capital investment from New Zealand, and those partnerships and other investment relationships have also been important. It's a really long journey, and so again, developing relationships and looking after those relationships is important. We're really still a startup. I know there's different categories in the awards this evening, and we think of ourselves now as really starting to scale up, but we're still really a startup. We're still agile. We still think relatively small in terms of the way that we function, while we have massive aspirations to do great things out there in the world. We're very, very focused on growth. Making steps to scale is a really big one, and it comes with a new risk profile. And so there's lots of things to consider in going out into the world and getting on and doing big things. We've got to raise more money. And that is an ongoing sort of journey in itself. We also have to understand that growth takes time, and the relationships that drive growth are built over time. And so it's not just a one deal here and a one deal there, but it's connecting the dots and joining things together to really scale. It's not just about saying we're going to America and hitting America with product. It's about being really considerate about where in America you start, which city or which suburb of which city are you going to target with your product, or in the agricultural context, which state represents the greatest opportunity. We're not going to take on the whole Midwest at once. We're going to hit Kansas or another central state and get that right before we take on the rest of the world. We've had an expanding customer base over time, though. We started with farmers, and field days has played a big part in that. Agriculture is really core to our business. We were designed by farmers, for farmers, on farm, and we've continued to develop the product with that in mind. And in actual fact, doing that in New Zealand and working with New Zealand farmers has enabled us to take a product to market that can really go anywhere. This environment is really, really rugged, and the 2x2 has been really put through its paces by people on farm and in rural-centric environments in New Zealand, really putting it through its paces. So it really enables us to do a lot of what we do out there in the wider world. We've expanded into adventure. We have a lot of adventurers out there in the world who use the bike just for fun. And we have a lot of fleet customers now too, where we're selling multiple units into a single customer and testing different business models in that context now too. The product attributes, as I mentioned, accessibility, the fact that a whole range of people who'd never ridden before are able to use this product, the safety of it, the utility of it, and the sustainability attributes that sit within the product are wanted by a broad range of customers, and this opens up lots of other opportunities for us across different industries. Over time, the customer base has expanded, as I say, from agriculture to fleet to tourism and adventurers in lots of different parts of the world. We've had a global sort of mindset from the beginning. We always wanted to take on the world from New Zealand. We know and we're proud of being a New Zealand company, but our real growth potential is in the US and in Europe, and we're really beginning to expand into those market areas. The market opportunity is somewhere in the range of $50 billion, and our objective is to take a decent chunk of that over time. It's really massive. We operate out of 5 locations today, our Mount Maunganui headquarters, an office in Melbourne, Australia, our European headquarters in Copenhagen, a small team in the UK, and then our US headquarters in Oregon. To get to market, we've needed help, and the channel has been something that we've really worked hard on. We've gone from a single channel and doing things one-to-one to having an omni-channel approach. We've now got over 260 dealers in different parts of the world. We've got direct fleet customers into corporates, and we have a direct-to-consumer, you can buy on the website type of setup as well. As we scale, we're focused firstly on a really strong dealer network, secondly on the pipeline of fleet customers, and thirdly on the direct-to-consumer sales channel, although that's picking up quite quickly in some countries. Each channel is different, each channel has different drivers, and we've got to manage each one in a different way. We believe that each is important, though, to achieve the growth that we want to, and so we're motivated to keep those moving in parallel. Critically important to have the right people. It's certainly all about the product, but having the right team, and actually I was just talking with Brendan a minute ago about being willing to sort of keep the team moving and evolving and growing. I've actually just stepped down in the last couple of weeks as Executive Chair of UBCO because the time had come to pass the baton to someone else with the next level of expertise to take it into the future. I've been 5 years in that role, and it's time to move on, and I think it's really important as we think about starting a business that we're open in our communication around the need to evolve a team, and that if you're the founder and CEO today, that in 3 or 5 years' time you may not be suited to that role, but that's okay. There's always a place for you in the business, and even if there's not a place for you in the business, there's certainly a place for you in the ecosystem to take your expertise and offer it up to other companies that are just getting off the ground. At UBCO, we've been fortunate to have an incredibly dedicated team of people and an incredible product, one of the very few products in our space that is firstly road registerable, but secondly designed for a whole heap of off-road and fleet applications. New Zealand's a really great place to start from, but the bigger opportunities offshore. And for us right now, the timing is perfect in terms of the green energy transition and the electrification of fleets that's happening the world over. Above all, it's critical to have the right mindset. As a team at UBCO, we're committed to continually delivering on our growth potential. The road to this point, and inevitably the road ahead, will continue to be squiggly and challenging, but we've got an ambitious set of objectives and a commitment to seeing those through. I think it's interesting to note too that in a startup everyone sells. There's a great line in Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1. When you look around and don't see any salespeople, you are the salespeople. Sales is not a department, it's a mindset. And when you start out small, you've got to be out there selling all the time. You wear the t-shirt. I love the branding that our marketing agency did, where I can wear a suit jacket and have the logo front and centre rather than out to the left. I don't have to really introduce myself anymore because the brand's quite well known and people come up to me and ask me about it. So I'm selling all the time. Everyone in UBCO's selling. And on our stand here at Field Days, I'm so proud to have arrived today and seen members of the team who've only been with the company for a few weeks in there talking to customers and potential customers about the 2x2 and how amazing it is. They're all getting exposure to the market, to customers, and they're all out there selling. I mentioned the green energy transition. We're seeing the need to transition from fossil fuels to green energy, and it's one of the largest infrastructure shifts that we've seen in human history. Emissions need to be reduced significantly by 2030 and to reach net zero by 2050. Fleet electrification is central to this, and we're certainly part of the solution. Micromobility is also a global trend. Perhaps we're not seeing it to the degree in New Zealand as we are in other parts of the world, but you visit cities like Amsterdam and Copenhagen and even London now, and two wheels are starting to dominate inner cities. Retail's shifted online, and the increase in deliveries that we're seeing in urban areas is directly related to that shift. The challenge is that our cities aren't really designed for it, and last mile delivery is offering up a whole new lot of opportunities for us. So again, we've gone from being on farm to being, and having tested on farm, being suitable for really heavy duty applications in last mile delivery, where a vehicle like ours might do 60,000 kilometres over 3 years. It's pretty cool. We're seeing fleet electrification and decarbonisation in cities, and a typical passenger vehicle emitting 4.6 metric tonnes of carbon dioxide per year. Transportation accounts for nearly 28% of global emissions, and so new forms of transportation like ours are really essential to supporting the global decarbonisation needs. Everything looks easy in hindsight. We're so grateful to have the opportunity to be back here at Field Days, and I'm certainly grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you this evening and be part of this, a wonderful event, which is where we really started. Someone once said that we tend to overestimate what we can achieve in a year, but we underestimate what we can achieve in 10. At UBCO, we're very proud of what we've been able to achieve in our 10 years. And I certainly can't wait to see what we're able to achieve in the next 10. I spoke recently with a Tauranga-based manufacturer, and they've been in business for 45 years. They've been grinding away for more than 4 decades. The CEO told me that they've had 4 goes at trying to crack the US, and they think they might have just done it. So perhaps in 10 years' time, we'll be halfway there. We've still got a long way to go, but it's an exciting road to be on. I think just in closing, if you keep turning up, anything's possible. It's truly exciting to be a New Zealand-based startup at the 10-year mark. It's exciting to come from a country where our most valuable company on the stock exchange is design-led. At UBCO, we're really proud of our design approach to product development. It's inspiring to look at companies like Rocket Labs and LanzaTech that have listed on the NASDAQ in recent years. In the end, again, the journey's never a straight line, but you get there based on an unwavering vision, persistence and perseverance, and plenty of hard work. Peter Beck once said that you don't get to Mars working 8 till 5, and there's certainly a lot of press today about getting balance in your life and all those sorts of things, but I think if you're on this journey, it's important to realise that it's tough, and it is not a normal working day of hours that you're setting yourself up to expect. At a glance, we're targeting a $50 billion market opportunity. We've got more than 5,000 vehicles in market already and more than 260 partners around the world helping us out. I hope to be back in 10 years' time telling you that we've more than doubled on our achievements to date, but let's see. Thank you to everyone that's been involved in the UPCO journey. Thanks to Field Days for having us back again, and I wish all the participants in the awards tonight good luck. Fingers crossed for you. Thank you.
Brilliant, Catherine. Thank you so much. And just here's a wonderful little gift on behalf of all of us. It's massive. I was quite surprised by quite how weighty it was, but then I'm very frail. Please, a round of applause for the wonderful Catherine Sanford. Hey, and thank you, Catherine. Look, you know, quite often we'll look at something like UPCO and we'll think, geez, they've cracked it. But thank you for the kind of the transparency, for your stamina, and mostly for your aspiration. We really do appreciate it. Please, again, for UPCO and Catherine Sanford, a round of applause. Catherine had a lot of quotes, and there's one that I come back to every time. It's in the foreword, or in the preface to Sir Paul Callaghan's book, and I think it really is the thing that we've got going for us as a country. And the quote is that New Zealand is not a small country, it's a big village. And I think when we have that mindset, today is a celebration of that. You know, if you go overseas to something like this, would you be in the room with the guy who's the head of NASA, or the guy who's the head of Amazon, or Honda? But in the last few years, we've had Peter Beck and Nick Mowbray, and we've got Catherine here tonight. We are so close to all of these people. If you are in the room tonight, you have the chance to network with those people. We have ministers, prime ministers, not the prime minister, but, you know, they've been around the site, and that is where I think that is the thing that we have that really goes for us. We're so close to everybody. You're literally 1 degree away from the best people in the world. So, I am less than a degree away from meeting 3 of our category judges for the awards. So let us going to welcome to the stage the category judges, Peter Dowd, Shane Dooley and Brendan O'Connell. What about a round of applause for each of them? I'm going to ask them, hello, gentlemen. All right. Can we just get the handheld on, bro? Thank you. Hello, gentlemen. Look, a lovely little greeting. All right, Peter, I'm going to just quick health and safety briefing. Don't step backwards. Or what will happen will just be more awkward than my hongi with the Governor-General yesterday, which was very awkward. All right. It was not her fault, it was me. Peter, what's the category that you judged in? And any trends, anything that surprised you, anything that delighted you, without giving away who's won?
All right, the winner was...
So good.
Yeah. I have the privilege of leading a team that judges the prototype division, so these are new, not yet in market ideas. One thing that I really enjoy is the variety of innovations that people have, and particularly this year, an area that we like is to see the growth in the school entrance, particularly tricky this year. 3 very good entrants, and yeah, I do really want to commend the school St Paul's for bringing the teams, and we really want to see that grow. I love that we have a really wide range of people, wide range of technologies, from AI to the more traditional weld and build style. It's a really enjoyable day, as well as, I have to admit, a very challenging day for us trying to come up with a decision.
Oh, look, Peter, I would not want to be a judge, that's for sure. If you've been around, you know how difficult it is. Hey, Shane, what was your category? Anything that delighted or surprised you? Any advice to any of the innovators?
Advice, oh my God. Well, Peter's kind of stolen most of my lines, really. A variation was a big thing we noticed this year. Because we're only 6 months after the last one, the number was lower. That's just a natural thing with the cycle. That made our life a little bit easier, but in the end, it didn't actually make it that easy, because perhaps because this was my first time being the head judge, herding the cats, it was a really, really difficult decision. So the quality, I think, was probably the key thing I noticed.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Marvellous. Brendan, what did you judge, and your thoughts?
I'm always judging, Teresa, but in this particular context...
Don't judge me.
Nice jacket. I got to judge the...
Life is too short not to wear beautiful jackets.
We were judging with 3 other partners, we were judging the growth and scale category. And so the growth and scale category, of course, is where New Zealand meets the world. And of course, that's always a two-directional thing. So we got 2 companies that were coming into New Zealand with their innovations. They're selling overseas, they're now selling in New Zealand, and they were putting their innovations up for growth and scale. And we also had 6 companies that are taking New Zealand out to the world. So they're selling here, and they're selling at least in one other market right now. And so I guess the great thing about that was the commitment and passion that we saw. I think it's a great opportunity for us to connect with the world and see those connections coming through. It was a genuinely tough decision. All of the finalists are winners ultimately. You know, we really think that they all have potential to take New Zealand to the world and to connect us globally. But it was definitely a privilege to have an insight into some of their businesses and see how they're going to be taking New Zealand stories out into the world and connecting us globally in whatever way that means.
Hey, brilliant. Look, we know it's incredibly tough to be a judge. You had 15 volunteer judges. If there's someone here who's an innovator, I often think some of the best insights you get into your own sector are to judge. Can people volunteer to be a judge? Shane, you're head judge. Where do you find if there is someone out here who thinks, you know what, I wouldn't mind giving it a crack.
That's the man over there.
Talk to Steve.
We have had. I mean, I can speak on behalf of maybe some of the conversations we have. We definitely want to see more people coming through to judge, and we know that there are natural cycles and people, and sort of seeing some new insights. So I definitely think there's opportunities to find new judges.
Brilliant. Hey, look,
some of us though are irreplaceable. I'd just like to mention, yeah.
Like me. Hey, look, we really do appreciate it. And if you've been around the tent, you've tried to make a decision yourself, it's incredibly tough. So a massive thanks to the 3 head judges, the head judge and his 2 shoulders, and to the other 15 volunteers as well. What about a round of applause for all of our judges? Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Peter. All right. Let us crack into it. So, the awards presentation. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to call up a sponsor to present award, and then I have the privilege of announcing the winner. If that winner is you, congratulations. Immediately, look surprised. Look humble. Come up to the stage. You're going to accept your award. Stephen is going to get a photo of that, and then you're welcome to say a few words, a few well-chosen words. I've hosted awards nights for 25 years. At not a single one of those events has anyone ever said the night was good. I wish it had been longer. If it looks like you are going to thank every single person who has ever helped you, I will just move closer to you until I'm uncomfortably close. And you will then go to the photo wall. Well, Stephen will get a nice photo of you and the sponsors. I'll also read out the judges' comments as well. Now, there are some categories where people have got an honourable mention. These are going to be rewarded in a highly commended e-badge, which means we're going to email you. What is it like, Steve? Is it a PDF? Is it an NFT? It should be an NFT. It's a BNG. It's a PNG. Spare no expense. What I'm saying is, if you're highly commended, congratulations. No need to come up to the stage. Just pull out your phone and think, great. Got a PNG to print out and stick on the wall. Are you going to give them a frame? Brilliant. All right. We're going to begin with the Field Days Young Innovator of the Year. Going to welcome Matt Moore, Business Growth Advisor at Soda Incorporated, to present the award. It says now, you read out prize package, that's me, announce winner and read judge's citation. Great. Entrants from any category who are 19 years old and under are eligible for the Field Days Young Innovator Award. The prize for winning the category is $1,000, sponsored, thank you, there's more, $1,000 sponsored by Field Days, and $1,000 sponsored by Soda Incorporated. You know the prizes are great when they get a round of applause.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Highly commended. The judges would like to commend St Paul's Post Wizard team. A round of applause for the Post Wizard team, which they described as surprise alert, which they described as an effective solution to back-breaking problems. The winner of the 2023 Field Days Innovation Award will be no surprise to everybody looking this way. I'm going to read it out now and be surprised. I was going to smear it all over my face, but it had bee venom in it, and I was allergic to bees. I didn't know what was going to happen. But hey, look, it is brilliant. Congratulations to St Paul's Collegiate School for the Capra Skin Lip Balm. Given how long it took me to read that out, you should have been closer. This is the judges' citation. The judges said, we were impressed by both the development process and the eventual solution provided by the Goat's Milk Lip Balm team. Having identified a real need, they are working through numerous formulation steps and testing iterations to come up with a lip balm that makes a real difference to its target market of middle-aged teenagers with troublesome acne. I didn't know that was where that sentence was going. Consideration went into the naming and branding of the product using a clever use of the modern usage of the word goat. We suspect that there is a wider market for the product, including internationally, and we hope that the team can find suitable partners to help them make the most of their innovation. A round of applause and a quick word from our wonderful young people from St Paul's Collegiate. Hello.
We just want to say a big thank you to our agribusiness teachers, Mr. Foote and Mrs. Allen. Thank you so much for all your help and everything you've done for us. A big thank you to the judges for your amazing input over the past couple of days. It's helped us a lot, and we hope to do something with the prize money. And yeah, thank you so much.
Hey, look, and congratulations to St Paul's Collegiate, and it pains me to say that as a former Hamilton Boys High School student. They are great. They've got a great agribusiness school, but here's the thing. I know that you know that there are a lot of great kids with some brilliant ideas out there. If you know that there are kids who are doing this kind of innovation, whatever it may be, encourage them, empower them to enter the competition, because it is absolutely worth it. Look at those young people there with their lives changed forever. Second award, Prototype. Going to welcome Dan O'Brien, Venture Capital and Startup Business Development Award. What a room full of sycophants. Hi, Dan. How are you? Very well. Gosh. Love this room. Venture Capital and Startup Business Development New Zealand, AWS. Here is the prize. The prize for winning the Prototype Award is $10,000. Sponsored by Field Days. Don't just applaud the value. There's more. They also get a machine learning kit to get started with exciting computer vision, IoT and other experiments, and a session with an expert at AWS who will help them get started prototyping and give you advice on accessing AWS support programs sponsored by AWS, and product design and development services to the value of $5,000 sponsored by Blender Design. What about a round of applause for those generous sponsors? We have a highly commended, so feel free not to advance the slide. Give it away. Highly commended. We would like to commend SPS Automation for the impressive way that they are implementing AI tools to enable massive improvements in the control of invasive plant species in Aotearoa. How about a round of applause for SPS Automation? Who is the winner? We're going to show you on the screen, but I'm going to read it out first. That was called Dramatic Tension. I'm the master of creating dramatic tension. All right, the winner of the 2003 Field Days Innovation Awards Prototype Award is, from amongst many of their entries, Waikato Milking Systems with the Ergo Pods. The judges said, aimed at both the local and international market, the Ergo Pod provides a step change in milking and revolutionises the way cups are presented and managed in the milking shed. It exemplifies what can be achieved when solid design is combined with innovative idea generation, deliberate simplification and effective root cause analysis. With just the right amount of automation, the Ergo Pod reduces injury risks, halves the time to apply milking cups, removes multiple hazards for a cow entering and leaving the milking platform, creates opportunities for precise measurement and control of milk quality, and even speeds up the process of cows exiting a rotary milking platform. The end result is an internationally viable product that enables faster, safer milking by a wider labour pool. Congratulations, Waikato Milking Systems.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks very much for the award. I'd like to thank the Field Days, the judges, the sponsors, of course. And then also Tom and his team here. We started on this journey about 4 years ago, and we had this crazy idea that if we were going to be the most admired company globally for milking efficiency, if we could milk 1,000, if a single operator could milk 1,000 cows an hour, that would be a game changer. And the machine that you see up here, we think we're on a good way for that. We believe that this is a $50 million business in only a few years from now. So well done to the team, and very happy to accept this award. Thanks very much.
Congratulations. Thank you. Brilliant. Tell you what, if that was around when I was milking, I would probably still be milking. I actually, when COVID came and work stopped, my family was short a milker, and I said I could come home and milk, and they said, no thanks. Love my family. All right. Third award, Early Stage Award. We're going to invite Rion Oak, Director of Operations at Gate International, to deliver the Early Stage Award. Hi, Rion. So, the prize package is $10,000, sponsored by Field Days, a machine learning kit to get started with exciting computer vision, IoT and other experiments, and a session with an expert at AWS who will help you get started prototyping and give you advice on accessing AWS support programs, sponsored by AWS. Wait, there's more. Product development and delivery services to the value of $7,000, sponsored by Gate International, and mentoring support and other benefits with access to the accelerator, if appropriate, up to the value of $5,000, sponsored by Sprout Agritech. How about a round of applause for all of those sponsors? Thank you, sir. There is no highly commended in this category. We're going to go straight to the winner of the 2023 Field Days Innovation Awards Early Stage Award. Congratulations to eClean Envirotech. The judges said water quality is a real issue for New Zealand and the world, and this team has blended strong contemporary science and mataranga Māori in an authentic way, with kawa and tikanga of traditional Māori science. Their application of scientific theory with a practical application really impressed the judges, and they've partnered well with an engineering firm and have the ability to manufacture from the beginning, and they have already achieved early commercial success. The IP strategy and go-to-market is clearly articulated for New Zealand and export, and the judges say they are well on their way down the path to growth. Congratulations to eClean Envirotech.
Kia ora koutou. I just want to say I'm surprised that we won and a bit overwhelmed. But I just want to say a big thank you to all the participants. It was a really hard, I walked around all the different stands, and it was really hard to be in a competition with such great innovators. And then my final thank you is to my business partner and investor. Without his investment and his support of me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So kia ora koutou.
Brilliant. Power of partnership. Thanks, Rion. All right, final award. I love a quick awards night. Final award, Growth and Scale Award. Going to invite Chris Williams, CEO at King Street, to deliver the Growth and Scale Award. So the prize for winning this category is, there's a media prize, digital, radio and or print, to the value of $10,000 to launch an exciting new media campaign, which includes a creative diagnostic session with an expert at NZME to help formulate, review top-line creative concepts. There's $10,000 worth of time to a specific marketing project from King Street. This could include brand design, web design, build, collateral design or campaign development, and business support from Soda Incorporated, including Soda's customised business growth program Lift. So, there is a highly commended who will be emailed their PNG. So, congratulations to all of the finalists. Our highly commended is Levno. So Levno's clarity of purpose and progress in international markets deserves a special mention. The judges were impressed with their progress in delivering both productivity improvements and reduced footprints for enterprise clients in multiple markets. The judges said to Levno, "Go forth and conquer." But the winner of the 2023 Field Days Innovation Awards Growth and Scale category, congratulations, Wilder Lab. The judges said Wilder Lab exemplify a unique New Zealand approach to projecting and mapping our environment through their environmental DNA monitoring solution. The judges were impressed with the novel technology, multiple avenues for growth and strong commitment to values that epitomise the best of New Zealand. They, said the judges, make us proud. Congratulations to Wilder Lab. Please don't fall off the back of the stage with your trophy or we will have a search party. Come forward. So while they're having their photograph taken, hey look, all of you are invited back here tomorrow morning at 6:45 a.m. for the AWS Innovation Awards celebration breakfast. More on that very soon. Come in.
Kia ora everyone, thank you very much. This is quite a surprise. Just want to say a huge thank you to the Field Days, to the judges, to all the sponsors, and a massive thank you to my amazing team at Wilder Lab who are not here. They're out, they went to an op shop or something. That's okay. And also to our customers, our amazing customers throughout New Zealand who are using our environmental DNA technology for the most amazing things. We've got people down in the South Island in Otago using it to find new populations of critically endangered galaxid fish and then subsequently protecting them with trout barriers. We've got people out here looking for the new invasive clam, finding it with the eDNA and being able to put into place biosecurity measures to stop it spreading. And people out there on farm who are using our Tiki index, which is an ecological health index that are able to measure their progress of their restoration through time. And it's just great to see those needles move up as the streams are getting better. So thank you to everyone involved, and really appreciate this award. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Wilder Lab. Oh, do you know, I often spend time at these awards and I think, I just don't do enough with my life. Look, as I say, incredibly difficult for the judges. We had some really great, highly commended and some wonderful winners. I know they spent a lot of time discussing this. We would not get to have great winners without having them pushed every step of the way by really great entrants. To everybody who entered this year, we really do appreciate it, and we would love to see you back here tomorrow morning at 6:45 for our AWS Innovation Awards celebration breakfast. Like tonight's, what it does, it allows you to have a chat with other people within your fields, or indeed not within your fields. And who knows where those serendipitous conversations will lead. It may be something new, it may be an opportunity for you, who knows what it may be. We'd like to have all of our winners back, along with Catherine and Peter, so they can have a lovely photograph up here with everybody. If you are here with your team, Or indeed, if you're just here and want to prove that you're here so that when the accountant says, where did you go? You're more than welcome. Stephen is happy to take a photograph of you and your team up with the wall as well. We're here. Enjoy the kai, enjoy the drinks, enjoy the conversation. How about another round of applause for all of the sponsors and the judges and the winners? Stay, chat, keep up the great work.